Peak Amazon as robots sets off bear spray, sending 24 fulfillment center workers to the hospital. Critics say the company cannot continue to be let off the hook for putting hard-working people's lives at risk. At least one person was in critical condition and 24 were hospitalized after a robot accidentally punctured a 9-ounce aerosol can of beer repellent at an Amazon warehouse in Robbinsville Township, New Jersey on Wednesday, causing dozens of employees to experience trouble breathing. All told, 54 Amazon employees received medical attention because of the incident, according to multiple reports, which follow global strikes and demands from workers, advocates, and even lawmakers such as Bernie Sanders for the company, which is run by the richest man in the world, Jeff Bezos, to improve workplace conditions, including warehouse safety. Amazon's automated robots put humans in life-threatening danger. This is another outrageous example of the company putting profits over the health and safety of their workers, and we cannot stand for this. The National Council for Occupational Safety and Health, a worker advocacy group, called for reforms to ensure employee safety. The company keeps saying that safety of workers is their top priority. The tens of millions of consumers who will spend money at Amazon this holiday season have a right to ask, if that's true, why do people keep getting hurt, injured, and killed at Amazon facilities? You know, if we gave a year in review to Amazon, let's skim the surface of all the stuff we know. Amazon, instead of providing proper air conditioning at their warehouse facilities, prefer to have ambulances outside so that when people collapse from heat exhaustion, they can just get to the hospital quicker. Amazon provides their drivers routes that are such that they need to pee in bottles to keep their routes. Amazon, up until recently, refused to pay a living wage, and even though now they're paying $15 an hour, they still skirted around other requirements to get to that barrier, skimming on benefits and stuff like that. Amazon tricked the entire country into giving them sensitive data about the city planning of different cities and communities around the country. Data that is worth probably a couple $1 million at least. Other projections have it at even higher. And they did this under the guise that they were shopping around for a place to open their second headquarters. Well, it wasn't even a second headquarters because they were planning on 2 locations. And there was no competition between cities either because they had the locations picked out in advance. They knew ahead of time that they were going to go to New York and they were going to go to the D.C. area where their new neighbor is the Pentagon. By the way, Jeff Bezos has contracts with the CIA. Jeff Bezos has meetings with weapons contractors, and nobody knows what goes on in those meetings. Nobody. Does this sound like a company that cares about workers at all? I mean, does this sound like a company that workers are even anything resembling a priority? I'm going to go with no. I'm going to go with no. This is a guy that makes Ebenezer Scrooge seem like a philanthropist. This is a guy that if, the Christmas Carol happened again, they'd be like, we only got 3 spirits for this fucking guy. He needs about 12. He needs the Ghost of Christmas Past and about 12 people for the Ghost of Christmas Present to be like, hey, this is all the shady shit that you're doing. There's not, how many, eventually the ghost is going to be like, dude, you either got to pay me double time or I can't go to another facility and show this asshole what's going on. I can't do it. You got to get another ghost up in here. And I'd imagine the moral ghost of Charles Dickens are paid a living wage. I'd imagine that. I'd imagine they're treated very well. I bet they get good health insurance. So they wouldn't be exploited by the ghost keeper. That's something that needs to be written. An updated version of the Christmas Carol about Jeff Bezos. Maybe I'll do that. Maybe I will do that. this holiday season. I got to get on it. The holidays are upon us. And Jeff Bezos, when he thinks about stuff he can do to give back to the world, what does he come up with? Go into space. Go into space, just in case there's any alien labor for him to exploit. This is what Amazon is as a company. This is what they are. 50% of all online commerce goes through them. And I don't see that changing. And we can add this to the list of violations they've had. And just terrible things they do. By the way, we didn't even get to everything. They put bans on workers, and if you make a wrong move, it gives you a jolt. They're experimenting with that. They're experimenting with literal cages for their workers. They're experimenting with that. They have these robots that aren't safe. These robots are doing work. The robots aren't safe. The robots are taking people's jobs, and they're not freaking safe. Jeff Bezos, setting himself up to be emperor. Wow. How many ghosts is he? I'd say at least 20 ghosts. Bezos needs at least 20 ghosts.
Get your news on with Ron. Don't you want to know what's going on? We're getting our news on today. Get your news on with Ron. Don't you want to know what's going on? We're getting our news on today. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You can tweet me an article at Ron Placone. We'll go through it together and make it our own. Get your